So, you want to become a billionaire, do you? Well, it certainly goes without saying, this endeavor will not be easy. Out of the 8 billion humans occupying this planet, just 2,668 of them have the privilege of calling themselves a billionaire. Collectively, they're worth more than $12.7 trillion. And in this cadre of filthy rich individuals, fewer than 2,000 are considered to be self-made. And in many cases, that self-made label is about as legitimate as an FTX due diligence report. Some people are just rich right out the gate. Roughly a third of the world's billionaires inherited at least some portion of their wealth. So it goes without saying, being born into a certain family can drastically increase your billionaire chances. However, there are still quite a few self-made billionaires out there. And as you can imagine, amassing this amount of money is very statistically unlikely, but it's not impossible. If you are a man born in the United States or China, well, you're already off to a flying start. About half of the billionaires on the planet come from one of these two countries. The United States leads this stat by housing 724 billionaires, 628 of whom were born there. To put that into perspective, you can count the number of billionaires reigning from Canada with just 2 hands. And yes, unfortunately, the disparities continue to stack up, as just 10% of billionaires are women. But these are just pesky demographic statistics, and it's not about who you are, it's about what you do. So, what can you do? Where do you start? It's clearly not an easy task. Otherwise, everyone would be rolling in the dough. I mean, becoming rich is just not that simple. Becoming a billionaire is so difficult. Even Mark Cuban admits that if he had to start over, he probably couldn't achieve that 10th digit on the bank account a second time. A millionaire, certainly, but becoming a billionaire, explained the Dallas Mavericks owner to NPR, simply takes a whole lot of luck. But someone's always getting lucky. And many people will test out that luck on things like the lottery. Sure, winning big on the old Powerball can catapult you into an enormous head start on your billionaire journey. But it's not as easy as it sounds. For one, your odds of even winning the lottery are roughly 1 in 300 million, which is a very slim chance if you ask me. You're actually more likely to get struck by a meteorite from space than you are to win one of these instant wealth boosters. But alas, it sure is tempting not to at least try. And oh, do people love to try. You'll always hear the stories of starry-eyed gamblers looking to quintuple their net worth at the casinos of Las Vegas. But this method isn't all that feasible either. It's immensely improbable to turn a little into a lot in this town. And even if you did get lucky, once you start winning too much, they're likely to ask you to go somewhere else to play. You see, Vegas casinos generally only have about $100 million in reserve cash for the floor, meaning that even if you managed to clean out the entire casino, you'd still only be about 1/10 of the way to the $1 billion mark. Maybe you're more of an adventurous person, and you'd like to try your luck at good old-fashioned treasure hunting. That's right, finding ancient artifacts and lost treasures could surely give your net worth a hefty jumpstart. In fact, only a few years ago, a shipwreck was discovered on the bottom of the Caribbean Sea that contained more than $22 billion worth of gold. You just have to hope the finders keepers rule will hold up, as most discoveries like this one cause a lot of turmoil with the local governing bodies, who always want a piece of the pie. So perhaps sticking to land might better suit your fancy. There's loads of precious minerals, metals, and unknown treasures that exist right beneath our very feet. 15 out of the top 100 billionaires in the world built their fortune on metals and mining, and the industry isn't hitting rock bottom anytime soon. If you happen to find some diamonds by chance, you might really be in business, as the industry is not only very lucrative, but also very competitive. The biggest and most expensive diamond ever found is the Cullinan diamond, discovered in South Africa around the early 1900s, and this mineral is currently valued at over $400 million. And that's probably just a low-end guesstimate. So maybe perhaps you, dear viewer, could find a stone even more rare. which could surely give you a nice boost in becoming a famed billionaire. And if you're not feeling too Indiana Jonesy, then maybe you could try your hand at professional sports. It is tougher than you think though. If you want to make the big bucks, you have to be the best, and I mean cream of the crop. Out of every pro athlete to ever do it, less than 10 have managed to earn at least $1 billion in career earnings. We're talking about names like Cristiano Ronaldo, Roger Federer, Lionel Messi, and even Floyd Money Mayweather. And even then, only a select few athletes today are active billionaires. Guys like Tiger Woods, Michael Jordan, and LeBron James. But if sports just isn't your thing, perhaps you could give a go at something more traditional. Maybe something more tried and tested to give yourself the best chance at accruing at least $1 billion. Well, roughly 15% of billionaires achieved their wealth in finance and investing. With Warren Buffett the richest among them, these 393 people have more than just a keen eye when it comes to investments. So, how does one reach billionaire status via investing? Well, I can tell you it's just a bit north of buying Dogecoin on Robinhood. The billionaire echelon is at such an unreachable level that even otherwise solid investment advice just doesn't fit the bill for these finance aficionados. It's not about timing the market, it's about time in the market? Apologies, but no. That advice might be sound for an aspiring millionaire. But if you want to be a billionaire from investing, time the market. Time the market perfectly. Buy low and sell high, sure. But don't just buy low, buy early. Buy when no one has heard of the company you're investing in. Don't just invest in Amazon at its pre-pandemic low. Invest in Amazon when Jeff Bezos is still rocking the sweater vests. And don't just sell high. Sell at the peak, as in Mount Everest type of peak. Assuming your dividends don't outweigh the benefit of selling entirely. But maybe finance and investments aren't really your cup of tea. Maybe you want to try something a bit more fun. Do you like games? Well, I can tell you this much, a lot of people do. The global video game market is valued at over $220 billion and is expected to continue to grow in the future. Building the next big game could set you up with some major cash. Tim Sweeney, founder of Epic Games, did exactly that. With the creation of Fortnite, the most played video game ever made, Tim amassed a fortune of over $7.5 billion. That's a whole lot of arcade tokens. Even to this day, the video game is still bringing in over $5 billion a year in revenue, and the cash flow doesn't look like it's slowing down anytime soon. Maybe you're looking for something a little more out of this world. Well, there are untold riches awaiting to be plucked from every asteroid in our solar system. Billions upon billions of dollars worth of iron, silver, gold, and other undiscovered elements are out there just waiting to be collected. Asteroid mining is sure to be one of the next major powerhouse industries, and whoever gets on the forefront of it is likely to make billions, even trillions of dollars in the emerging market. People like Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos, and Richard Branson already have a head start on this with their own outer space transportation companies. But in a market that's bound to be bigger than our universe, there's more than enough room for others to join the space race. Or perhaps you're more interested in the metaverse than the old-fashioned real world. Well, there is an abundance of opportunity in this quickly growing cyber industry. A new virtual world is being created, and there's endless possibilities of what can be accomplished within it. Look at the team from Artifact, who had the idea of building a fully digital fashion and collectible brand only a few years ago. As of last year, the virtual shoe creators made a groundbreaking announcement that they had been acquired by Nike, putting pen to paper one of the biggest metaverse company acquisitions ever, in an excess of $1 billion. So if you happen to have some creative ideas, nurture them. You never know how big a seed you plant will end up growing. You could even use your creativity to invent a new toy or gadget. Maybe like Richard James, who accidentally dropped a tension spring he was working on and saw it slink away across the floor. Fast forward a few months and a few different concepts, and the amazing Slinky toy was born. Since its creation, over 350 million Slinkies have been sold worldwide, with profits reaching well over $3 billion. And trust me, this is just one of many wacky ideas that started as just a thought and ended up turning into quite a fortune. Always remember, if you can think it, it can be done. Take Bernard and Murray Spain, for example. These brothers decided to copyright the yellow smiley face that we all know and love, and began producing yellow smiley novelty items with the tagline, "Have a happy day." Within the first year, they had sold over 50 million smiley face buttons and other products. Just this simple image is earning them an estimated profit of $500 million per year, which I'm sure puts quite a big smile on their faces. But if you want a surefire path to becoming a billionaire, it's quite simple really. Make the world a better place. Find a worldwide problem and fix it. Sounds simple enough, right? Well, unfortunately, some of these problems are enormously difficult to solve, but they're not impossible by any means. Maybe things like an environmentally safe alternative to plastic, optimization of food production, harnessing a new limitless energy source, or even worldwide internet access. If you can identify and solve a major problem, you will surely find yourself some major dough. Whether you're thinking inside or outside the box, the opportunity is there for the taking. To be a billionaire, you have to stay hungry and motivated. You can't allow yourself to waste time, or the time will inevitably waste you. Devise a plan and attack, as only the strong survive, but the wisest thrive. You see, there are countless ways of going about accumulating a fortune reaching the 10-digit mark, but it's certainly no walk in the park. Consistency and persistence is key. You can't try to do everything in this video, as likely you wouldn't end up doing anything at all. Find something that works for you or can work for you and stick with it. It takes hard work, determination, and a bit of sheer luck to find yourself in the position of being worth billions. And trust me, it's even harder to maintain that status than you might think. But I digress. So, if you think you have a billion-dollar idea, let me know in the comment section down below. Who knows, maybe the world's next billionaire is watching this video right now. As always, I'm Mr. Luxury. Pip pip, to doodly-doo.